right, we have to buckle up, and I've talked about this. We are in a critical month. March is really going to get intense, and it's only going to continue. But I want to explain what that means. It is nothing to fear. It is exactly what we have ordered, what we're in store for. And yes, Edgar Cayce, Dolores Cannon, Baba Vanga, all of those prophets that I have been quoting have talked about this. It is not a gloom and doom, but you're probably saying, then why is all of this bad stuff happening? And I just want to remind you, this is exactly what needs to happen. And we're right in the thick of it. Yes, we're going to have some great challenges. It is the transition, and I want to share with you what to expect. I'm going to even talk about why this keeps happening, why Donald Trump is doing what he's doing, why other countries are reacting the way they do. Let's go deep into it. And yes, buckle up. This is a little shocking for some of you. I want to help you to get through this critical month because your state of mind and your heart coherence is more important than ever. Let's go. Welcome to Landria Onkka on YouTube. I'm here to help you make it through this craziness. So I'm going to ask the hardest question of 2026. Why must we suffer so much just to learn how to love? I'm going to address this. I'm going to address actual writings, teachings, prophets, because they spoke of it, but somehow we think that we're just going to go into a state of peace. It doesn't work that way. Once you have created foundations that are unstable, they will not continue to hold the building that you keep building upon. It must be taken down, rebuilt with a solid foundation. You guys have been to Vegas. I've watched them implode like a perfectly good hotel. It needs to be fortified. This isn't easy, and some of you are going to experience some very strange things going on this month, but this is the sloughing off, the dissolving of everything in your personal life that must be dealt with in order to go to the next level. And some of it may seem scary from a material standpoint, from a 3D standpoint, but I assure you what's on the other side of this is exactly what's going to take you into something magnificent. And letting this go and becoming that different person, I'm going to show you how to do that, is going to be the major transformation that takes you to a completely different floor up to that penthouse, because you cannot go there from here if you continue to behave on this frequency, and everything's a frequency. I'll help you subscribe and sign up to the Conscious Creator Vault. I'm going to be training you on how to transform this to go into that and to live in that new earth. We can't continue to live in the old earth. It is time. Your brain is currently wired for a world that no longer exists. Oh, you're saying, well, I'm seeing stuff out there. Yes, it no longer exists. We listen to leaders like Donald Trump or global populists because they speak to a primitive part of our DNA that craves a tribe to protect. This is built in. It's built into you and me. We cannot avoid it. But that same instinct is what's keeping us in perpetual battle. We are a 200,000-year-old predator trying to live in a globally connected body. All right? We're trying to separate ourselves within the globally connected body. And what happens? This is how we get sick. There's an imbalance. It's the balance because everything contributes equally. It's the imbalance that's happening right now. And the battle for the old world is going to increase. We must remain steadfast. So I'm going to answer that question. Why do we need to suffer? The bottom line is we don't. It doesn't mean you're not going to be uncomfortable. March is going to absolutely take us into different phases, up and down on a roller coaster, where you'll get hope and then you're going to lose it. What the heck am I doing on this planet? I know I've been thinking that lately. Let's look at the background of this. Thousands of years ago, the Kabbalists predicted the exact friction we are feeling right now. Edgar Cayce did, Nostradamus did, and Dolores Cannon did. Why is there a split earth? There has to be an old earth that exists in that same existence, that coexistence on this planet. It has to exist at the same time, which means we're aware of it because it's a collective we all chose to be in together. All right. So a lot of you think we're going to go into a new earth and that just goes away. It doesn't. It still exists simultaneously. So the Kabbalists, they didn't see war as a tragedy of history, but as a shattering of the vessels, a necessary breaking point. If you're tired of the us versus them rhetoric, if you're tired of the fear, you're feeling exactly what you're supposed to feel. We don't want it anymore. Until we get to that breaking point, we don't know how drastically horrible that feels, right? We want to go back in that safe place. That's not what we came here for. And this critical point is exactly this struggle and pain that we're feeling. That's what's pushing us to the next level. And I know it's like, I don't want to do this. I don't want to go through this crazy stuff. Those of you who've been in accidents or have had illness and you go through this horrific healing, but you know it's going to get better and better. And eventually you're back better than ever. And that is what's happening. So don't expect us to just go into La La Land. You must maintain it regardless of what's going on out there. And that will determine which side of this coin you're going to be on. It's really endless. But if you're tired of the us versus them, if you're tired of the fear, the struggle isn't a sign that we're failing. It's a sign that the ego is finally running out of room to hide. Let's talk about the spiritual purpose of the battle and the one tactic no politician will ever tell you about. To address why humanity continues to struggle with conflict while framing it through a spiritual lens, it is helpful to look at the intersection of our biological evolution and our spiritual curriculum. You got to remember, we came into 3D bodies and we forgot completely who we are. How amazing is this that we can come here and not know our power and our love? But we have to rediscover it. But we get to know darkness because that darkness allows us to choose light. I don't want to be on this trip no more than you do, but we chose it. We were thinking, hey, this is a piece of cake, but it's not going to be. So if you buckle down, I can take you into a space where you can handle this because it's going to make some kind of sense. Because at the other end of this are beautiful teachings and opportunities and a way for you to let go of that person that you were up until this moment. I feel like a completely different person, and it's really rocked my world right now, I'll be honest with you. Some amazing opportunities are coming in, and I'm changing how I'm teaching you because you are now on equal ground. You are no longer just the student below the teacher. You are the student with the teacher because teachers are always learning too. It's helpful to look at the intersection of our biological evolution because the global landscape remains marked by intense regional conflicts and political polarization. Why? These battles are a reflection of a deeper internal evolution. So let's talk about biological safety trap. Why we recur to separation. It makes no sense. But then I see you on here arguing with each other in the comments and taking sides and pointing fingers at people. Yes, who are living in that old ego earth. But that will not solve the problem. It will not take you to the penthouse. I beg of you, please, to consider your thoughts, your behaviors, and to let go of anything that's separation, blame. It's the old earth that's crumbling, my friend. You cannot hang on to it anymore. It is dissolving. So let's talk about why we continue separation. From a factual and psychological standpoint, humanity is hardwired for tribalism. This is really interesting stuff. For most of human history, identifying with an in-group and fearing an out-group was a survival mechanism. Now think about this, right? We had to go into survival mode. We don't have to do that anymore, but yet we're still behaving that way. We're wired for that. The survival wiring, modern research shows that when we perceive a threat to our tribe, whether political, national, or religious, our brain triggers the same fight or flight response as a physical threat. So when you're watching all this stuff and you're doom scrolling, and I'm telling you, knock it off, you're going to get enough information. What effect is it having on your body? Taking sides, I don't want to be here, this is wrong, and you get entrenched in it. And this is what we have to be steadfast within. The tactics of conventional leaders like Donald Trump often lean into nationalism and America first because it taps directly into this primal need for safety and identity. The new earth doesn't function that way. And some of you may not want to let go of that, and that's okay. But can we continue to take sides and be right? Because there has to be somebody wrong, and then we continue to go into struggle and conflict. By emphasizing sovereignty and distinct borders, they provide a sense of order and protection that resonates with our biological instinct to circle the wagons. The paradox, while this offers short-term psychological security, it perpetuates separation, making it harder to address global challenges like climate change or systemic inequality that require unified action. And by the way, we're finding out right now we really can't protect ourselves, protect our tribe. Those barriers are being broken, and it's very uncomfortable. Battling a battle creates more battle and conflict. That is the old world fighting to survive, and it wants you to join it. Be careful with that. This is when I said to you it's going to get really difficult, and you're going to be pulled into taking a side, and it's going to seem really right. Of course it is. That's wrong. Oh, I'll give you 101 different sides to take in all of this until you walk in somebody's shoes, or you have a friend who knows what the situation is, goes on and on. There's only one new earth choice, and that is love and compassion. Yes, taking action. We don't stand back and watch things just happen. But what are you fueling? So the spiritual teaching is war as a mirror. Many spiritual traditions, including the Kabbalah, evolutionary theology, suggest that we live in an unfinished world. The external wars we see are often seen as mirrors of an internal battle between the ego and the high self. High self would never do these things. It's not even connected to the 3D ego world. It's not connected at all. This is why we say, well, I'm talking to my higher self. I said, actually, you and the higher self are one. You're just making a choice within that mansion to be in the basement. If you take the sides and go into separation and blame and guilt and pointing fingers, that higher self still exists. You can go up to that floor anytime. This is the choice you're going to have to make, and it starts in March. Big time. Why? Because we've been thrown into it. Yep. Suffering as a catalyst. Suffering is not a punishment, but a generator of energy. It forces us to confront the limitations of the ego, the part of us that believes we are separate from others, and it never works, does it? What's the end point? It never works. Eventually, it wants more and more and more, and that's just what you're seeing. We couldn't get peace. We couldn't get attention with peace. Now let's get attention doing this and be heroes this way. And that's ego wanting that glorification and sides. This is going to test you. The goal of unity, spirituality, the curriculum of humanity is to move from egoism, self-serving, to altruism, unity. Some of you probably don't even like that idea. I'm going to be unified with these people over here. Yes, they are not those bodies any more than you are. They are pure energy of the one source. They are of the source too. Yes, but they're the wrong side of the source. There's no such thing. Source doesn't make a mistake. We continue to struggle because we haven't yet reached the spiritual maturity to see the other as ourselves. How many more videos do I have to do like this? I know it doesn't feel that way, but just grasp the idea that you know somewhere deeper down and higher up that this is all one ocean. It's a puzzle with a puzzle piece missing if you're not in it, including that person that you may despise, that you think is wrong. Look at how they grew up. Look at what's been programmed into their brains. But look at us. What's been programmed in our brains, it's still taking sides. Tribalism, survival. We're right. Yay for name the country. Inner warfare, the real battle isn't against other nations. It's against the internal desires to dominate or win at the expense of others. We think we're doing some good things. I don't know what the results are going to be. I'm actually going to take a neutral stance on this. It's already in the works. All I know is how can I personally react to every possible situation? And what am I sending out there? What am I sending out into that frequency field, that quantum field that is changing everything through this? Yes, this is where it starts. You may not think you have that power. You are no longer the student. You are the co-creator. So a positive path forward. Yes, there is a pot of gold at the end of this rainbow, my friend. To move past perpetual battle, we must consciously upgrade our thinking from survival-based instincts to higher consciousness connection. You are eternal. And I know you're thinking, yeah, I don't want to exit yet, although you might be struggling in pain. I'm thinking, what's there to be afraid of? This is the tough part, my friend. Believe me, it doesn't get any more difficult. If it did, we'd blow ourselves up. And you might think we're going to do that. And it's not going to happen. And those of you who are hoping that these cataclysms will come because you'll be right are still living in the basement. Is that what you want? It is a choice that's being made right now. I was hoping that the other choice would be made. We can contribute to the other choice, and that is peace. Let us talk to one another, not revenge, or we're going to get back at you. It never leads to anything good. A lot of people around us, of course, will suffer greatly. Why? Because we're one energy field. It's not just the physical world, my friend. In fact, it's out here that starts the physical world. The world today continues to suffer from conflict because we have not yet recognized the nature of our battles. We seek to dominate externally rather than correct ourselves internally. That's Michael Laitman, the Kabbalah scholar. When we do this, we make different decisions. When we come from this, we make different choices. March is the big choice point. Buckle up. By acknowledging that tribalism is an ancient tool we've outgrown, we can start to view political and physical conflicts not as evil, but as growing pains of a species learning how to become one. And some people are living in that basement. They're never going to get out of it. It doesn't change how you handle this, what you think. Don't go into that dark space, my friend. It is the old world that we have outgrown. So why do we feel like we've been stuck in a loop? We have the technology to feed everyone, the medicine to heal almost anything, yet we're still pouring trillions into the machinery of death. This is a check engine light. This is a distraction, and the choices of eco will accelerate. Be ready for it. You can send all the light you want. It is still not your choice, but it is your choice to send that light and love despite those choices. Are you ready to do this? Are you ready to let go of tribalism and survival for me? This is when people hoard. And if we go into any situations in the future, whatever country you're in, and you think, I'm going to protect my tribe, and so we're going to get all our food and all our stuff, and we're going to protect ourselves. Who do you think they go after first? The hoarders with the stuff. And then they fight for the stuff. I don't want to fight for the stuff anymore. Are you ready to stop fighting for the stuff? It is time for you to take a good hard look at who you've been, how you've been thinking, what you're viewing, because everything you look at, you are integrated with on some level. You entangle with it on a cosmic basis. And it goes out into this universe. And yes, we have other beings here, many unlimited forms already here. They're not coming from someplace else. They're here. They've been living here. And they're in an unseen world and sometimes seen. That's now going to make its presence known because it inhabits this space also with us. And those of you who think some aliens are going to come in and stop these wars, they cannot up to a certain point, but they will have a tolerance point that shuts us down because we're going to affect them, that cosmos out there and their way of life. Some of that will go on. It has been going on. You're going to see some big presence being made, some reveals happening here. And I think March is kicking this off. Obviously, are you ready for it? You must remain steadfast in faith and love. This will be the most difficult challenge of your life. If you can do this, you will watch the reality around you shift. You will see people soften. You will see those who are tired of taking sides say, I don't have the answers anymore because everyone's right. Because their perspective is from what they've been taught. What have you been taught, Gain? You let it go. Is it serving you well? We have to serve others. And yes, take care of this. You deserve this too. You deserve health and wealth and joy. You deserve all of it. And when you are in that high position, it's then that you can help others. Start with this first, my friend, and wish it for others. I'm asking you right now to make a choice, and that is to release anything that is a low frequency because it affects you first. Are you ill? Ask yourself why. Are you learning anything from it? Do you feel like you don't deserve it? Nothing is random on this planet or anywhere else. It all serves valuable purposes if we see them, and that's when we can change them. If you would like to join the Conscious Creators Vault, it is a monthly membership off of my website, landriaonka.com. That's launching this weekend as I speak. It will be out in a couple days. If you sign up for my free email list, free inspiration, that's down in the description. You will get first notification. Everybody can afford this. And we meet every Sunday along with my private channel membership. Those of you who are members in my membership on the channel, you will get to participate in that meeting every Sunday at 10 a.m. Eastern, unless further notified. So we're going to bring that group in with this group, and we're going to create high frequency and vibes, and you're going to step away from those meetings feeling like you just went up a floor. I want to take you there. I want to show you the way, but only you can choose it. Buckle up. This is shocking stuff. It's not fun, but believe me, the triumph on the other side of this is beyond your imagination, and I want you to be proud of your contribution. I hope you'll share this video with others, like it, and subscribe, and let me know your thoughts. What are you going through right now in your own personal life? Do you feel like you've shifted into some completely different space? Some of it may be a little painful. All right. I'll share a lot of that on Sunday in our meeting with you, of what I've been going through and how I'm changing my life because I've done enough. I've done enough here. And now I'm asking you to join me. That's how critical this time period is. You are whole and perfect, strong and powerful. And those of you who want to start purchasing clean items, sustainable, doesn't harm the planet, no more plastic, go into my description. I've got all kinds of things. Your toothpaste is poison. Did you know that? Knock it off, McFly. What did we sign up for? You're whole and perfect. Perfect, strong and powerful, loving, harmonious, and happy. And thank you for those of you who've been with me for years. It's pretty much the same message. We're just going through something pretty important right now. So I thank you from the bottom of my heart, and I send you my love and blessings. May you have a miracle today and every day. I'll see you in that space in the penthouse. Namaste.